So today I'm going to explain when to start seedlings for the springtime and what to start planting. So when to plant and what to plant for your first sets of seedlings. So first thing you need to know is, when is your first frost date? So the easiest way to figure out when your last frost date is to Google how to find your last frost date. And the very first page that comes up is the Old Farmer's Almanac. Now, instead of directly going to the almanac is full of tons and tons of information. But if you put in how to find your last frost date, it takes you right to the page that you are going to want to be looking at. Then once you get here, there's a little bar where you can put in your address. So I'm going to put in where my grandma used to live, 95482. So this is where my grandma used to live. And see, and it brings up the name of the town, so Ukiah, California. It brings up the last spring frost and the first fall frost, and then how many growing days. So this last spring frost date simply means there is a 30% chance you could still have frost, but a 70% chance you're not going to have any frost. So that is the date that you can go by when you want to figure out when to start your seedlings. Now, the next place you're going to go is, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to Google when to plant seeds. I Googled when to plant seed Johnny's. Johnny's Seeds has a really great seed start date calculator. So you just click the link. It's the very first one that will come up. And then my frost date is not the same as where my grandma lived. So my frost date is not the same as where my grandma lived. So you're going to put in here when your last frost date is supposed to be. For mine, it's March 30th. And then I'm going to push enter. And up is going to come a list of vegetables and how many weeks to start them before setting them out. So for artichokes, I want to start them 8 weeks before my last frost date, so I can start them anytime because it's already February 4th. But basil, only 6 weeks, and I want to make sure that I don't set them out until a week after, because basil is frost tender. It doesn't like cold. And then it just gives you a whole list of vegetables. And then if you go down farther, it even gives you a whole list of flowers. So this is very helpful. Alright. So Johnny's is not an all-inclusive list of vegetables. There's just a few on there, really, considering the whole realm of vegetables. But you can also look at the back of your seed packet. Now, the back of your seed packet will let you know if the soil needs to be warmer, if it's frost tolerant. The back of your seed packet will tell you a lot of information. Also, the seed catalogs. You can go on to the websites and order seed catalogs, or you can just look on the websites, different seed companies' websites, and they will give you tons of information about planting the seeds. But the first star I would say was find your frost date, look at Johnny's seed starting date, and then go by that. So there's the Farmer's Almanac for your frost date, and then there's Johnny's Seeds to find out how far before your last frost date to plant or to start seedlings. And then there's the back of the seed packet also. And then the last thing I think you need to consider is, where are you going to put these things? How much room do you have? Do you have a greenhouse? Do you have some sort of a frame they can be under outside? What is your weather like for growing the seedlings? So if you're going to be starting them indoors, you need to have somewhere they can grow with adequate light. You cannot just depend on a windowsill to be enough light. They need the full spectrum of light when they're growing, and they need it for a certain number of hours a day. And generally, windowsills are not enough. They will sprout, and then they will get long and skinny and fall over, and they're just not going to make it. So you're going to want to check out some sort of light to grow under. So I absolutely love this time of year. I become obsessed with all things gardening. I'm in the process of making a video on lighting for indoor seedlings, on our grow house, and our hydroponic system that I still haven't put up and together yet. So check out our other videos, and until next time, see ya.